All right, good evening, everyone. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled committee meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, July 19th, 2023, at 7:01 PM. Roll call, please. Clerk Moscow.
Trustee Rabat?
Here.
Trustee Caving?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hilly?
Here.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Killily?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll open the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Jean.
I do. Okay. Recently, a good friend of mine's husband got hit by one of those electronic scooters on the sidewalk in front of his house. And his little Yorkie, that is an injured puppy as it is, he has a lot of health issues, was thrown in the yard and spun around like 2 or 3 times and landed on the cement. They had to bring the dog over to the emergency vet, and they have it on Ring camera. Today, pulling in my driveway, another electronic scooter, a motorized vehicle. To me, they're motorized vehicles, these and those bikes. And there are kids on them. And I was turning over by the park district to go down, I think it is Costner, to the t-ball fields, and some little goofball is flying in front of us. Doesn't care that the car is coming at him, but I mean, he's on one of those little scooters. They're dangerous, and there should be something, tickets should be issued, or they should be confiscated from the kids when caught. And the parents fined, because these are, they don't know the rules of the road. The guy riding down Pulaski today, he was older. He knew better than to go over 45, 50 miles an hour on it. So that's my beef for today. The electric scooters and those electric bikes, motorized vehicles on sidewalks.
So we regulate motorized vehicles, but so far we have not regulated electric scooters and stuff, but I have been in contact with the city of Oak Forest. They recently passed a new ordinance regulating it because they apparently can go up to 50 miles an hour now with the electric. So I'm going to be working with them, and then we can work with the safety committee and the traffic safety committee as well, and see what we can do.
Yeah, they're bad. I mean, now the little puppy has to have what the teeth chipped and went into the little sinus cavity. This dog is this big, weighs about 7 pounds.
Yeah.
And luckily her husband didn't get hurt bad, but he got shook off and he got hurt. But the dog had to go to the emergency vet. Now they have to pay money to take care of the vet, the dog. And it was on the sidewalk in front of their home.
Okay. Thank you, Jean.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
It's illegal to drive on the sidewalk. And so those people should be sued for liability.
It's not currently illegal to ride a electric scooter on the sidewalk, no. Motorized vehicles, yes.
It's an electric motorcycle.
Just- Right.
It's an electric motorcycle.
Okay.
And the globalists, the federal government, want these to be everywhere. They want you to never be able to use a gasoline, fossil fuel powered vehicle anymore.
Yeah. Do you have a public comment tonight? Do you have a public comment tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I wanted to clarify something that I said last week about the insects in the trees. the magazine article that I submitted for you to contemplate and for the arborist to examine, I wasn't, and I didn't mean to imply that those are the insects that I'm seeing around town. I gave you the example in the little tub of the insects that are harming our maple trees. And that's what I wanted them to focus on. The article takes it into a whole nother realm that I wanted the expertise of the court here and the arborist to understand the possible ramifications if this, you know, so you just, that was for your education purposes, that article. Regarding the activities, the uninspiration of the youth in our town and villages, they're all addicted to the gadgets, the computers in their hands, and television and stuff, and they're not getting real inspiration from anywhere. I've tried submitting, I don't know if any of you are familiar with all of these science and technology magazines that have been available for decades. I have Popular Science, Popular Mechanics, Astrology, Road and Track, Cycle magazines, Car and Driver magazines, even business magazines. These are things that, you know, in my young adulthood, I studied this stuff. I've been in manufacturing for more than 30 years. I could tell you that the company that I used to work for, Andrew Corporation, just so that you know that I'm not some dummy coming out here and talking to you about stuff that I don't know anything about. I was a quality control inspector at Andrew Corporation, Orland Park.
Yeah.
We had a facility in Tinley Park. I worked there too. Then they moved that to a factory that they built in Joliet. We got awards for favorite supplier from Huawei in China. Awards from ZTE in China. Right around the time that Challenger crashed, we were setting up shop in China. I objected. I told them, you build one cable line, we make cable for telecommunications, wireless signal transmission. We had White House, Department of Communications, Department of the Navy, White House Communications was a client.
Sir, what does this have to do with the Village Midlothian?
I want to inspire kids to get involved with stuff that they could hold in their hands, you know, and read actual articles, stories for inspiration. I want to submit it to Sandra Crowley, Trustee Crowley, for maybe for that village, you know, if these magazines are out there for kids to help themselves with, to inspire, you know, you might appreciate it too, to help inspire kids to do stuff that is, you know, normal, would provide a future.
You'd like us to put them out at National Night Out?
Anytime.
I'll take them, I'll put them out there. I'll put them on, is there a lot?
Well, I have more, I just grabbed a handful.
I mean, we could put a couple on one of our tables.
Yeah, just leave them on the table.
Have you
We'll get-
considered speaking with the public library? This is really kind of
Yeah.
more
You know,
on their mind.
I've done this exact same thing to the Bremen office on Pulaski here.
But the public
I
library, have you,
submitted-
have you talked to them about that?
No, the library
They do displays on a regular basis. They could perhaps help you by doing a display for just exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's actually an excellent idea. I mean, we could put a
Well,
couple
that's where
out
the
at
kids
National
go.
Night
They don't
Out,
come to
but
board meetings.
I think-
This isn't really the
I think-
best
Yeah.
forum.
I think at National Night Out, they're gonna be playing on jumpy houses and doing outside stuff, so
Yeah.
I think trustee Burbett has a great opinion.
I was kind of thinking of that where they do the athletic stuff at that, what do you call it? Where they play at baseball and, don't you have the village?
Park District?
Huh?
The Park District?
The park district.
Oh, yeah, they're a separate taxing body. So they have their own board and,
Okay.
and things like that, but, I mean, if you'd like me to take a couple to National Night Out, I have no problem setting them out on one of our
Yes.
tables.
Yeah, just
I'll be happy
leave them on the table. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay, then I will close it for the public comment. Move on to trustee business. Trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I have one item tonight. As you're aware, there's an opening in the front office, and as part of the process, we need to relook at job descriptions. So this gave us an opportunity. I'd like to thank Jackie Harris for helping to update two of our positions, because there were a number of items added to each clerk position's duties, so we wanted to make sure that it was reflective of what each position would entail. So I'd like to make the board aware of that. If they have any questions, this is just the beginning part of filling a position in the front office.
Okay. Anyone?
I just had a question. Are we filling two positions or one?
No, one. We're filling one, but because both job descriptions were updated, I wanted to make the board aware
Oh,
that
got it. Okay.
each position was updated, because the last time they were updated and reviewed by the board was about 2 years ago. So even though it's one position, I thought it'd be appropriate to share both updated job descriptions.
Right, and I did read them, and I gave Kathy my comments yesterday.
Anyone else?
And just a reminder that the community picnic is on Sunday, August 13th at the Village Gazebo. If you're interested, come on out. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll have activities for kids. You can grill out there. And bring a lunch. We'll have hot dogs and hamburgers. We'll be grilling, so it should be fun. And that's it.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Burbett.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Haley.
I was a little confused. Did everyone get that email
Yeah.
with the fire department fees?
Yeah, I just saw it this evening.
Yes, that's what, so did I. And,
It was on the
We discussed it
Finance
at
Committee
Finance Committee.
okay,
agenda.
then I have nothing.
Okay. Perfect.
That's where my confusion was. Thank
All
you.
right.
You wanna bring
Thank you,
that
sir.
up?
Trustee Caveny.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things. I just wanted to make the board and our residents and public aware that we do have three businesses that are getting remodeled and rebuilt. We heard from Burger King that, and I'm not sure if it was Burger King Corporation or the franchisee, but I was told that by the building department staff that they are intending to knock down the current building there and rebuild a new building. It's very new. We don't have any, paperwork or documents yet, but that's a possibility that that's gonna be coming down the pike. I realize everybody's pretty angry at Burger King right now, so I hope they know what they're up against. I hope a shiny new building will, help them get some business there. Popeyes also, they've submitted their special use application, which is required to have a drive-through. So, they are also gonna be demolishing the current building, and they're gonna be rebuilding a new building. The car wash that is next to Popeyes has been sold, and the new owner is updating it and remodeling it, and it will be a Froggy's Car Wash. I was told that there is a Froggy's Car Wash on 147th and Posen, so if anybody is interested and wants to see what it's gonna look like, they can take a ride down the street to Posen and check out the Froggy's in Posen.
I'd recommend that. It's fantastic.
I heard it's very, very nice building, and the building owner has submitted permits, and they've cleaned up the property outside. They do, there's the regular dumpster out there. They don't have a construction dumpster out there yet, but they did have a roofing crew out there today. So they are putting a new roof on the building. They're making some repairs to the roof, and they're going to be updating it, and it's going to be very, very nice. So those are the 3 business updates I have tonight. That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Excellent. Trustee Killen.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a comment on what you just said. It's always good news when businesses are investing money, substantial money in their properties. They could have, Burger King and Popeyes could have just, just tried to update a little bit what their properties are, but they feel that Midlothian is worth spending quite a little bit of money to demolish their properties and do a whole new building.
Yeah.
And also the old Title Max property, they
Yes.
put a lot of money into that
Yes.
property. So I think, I think Midlothian is very, very well thought of in a lot of business circles, that if they're investing that amount of money into it, that we got something pretty good here.
I agree. Thank you.
So that editorial comment, let's go to, let's go to my business mayor and 2 things. One was the garden walk, which was very successful. We had 60 people that bought tickets. 80% of them, interestingly enough, were from outside Midlothian. So a lot of people are coming to see our garden walk. Again, we had 15 gardens to show, and that is the largest garden walk except for Bucktown in Chicago, which they have a whole carnival and food thing. It's a whole another thing. But we have a very large garden walk, and we had some great gardens. So I think we were very successful in that regard. Also, thanks to MWRD for having a representative out there, and they raffled off a free rain barrel, and also brought a lot of other information that people could look at. So it was a very successful garden walk. Every year we've increased our ticket sales by 10 to 15%, and we're good, I think. And also that we can bring in people from outside, they can see what Midlothian is all about. I think that's nothing but good news for us also. Land bank. The land bank has, I think, good news also. They have, at present time, they have 34 properties to sell, residential properties to sell. And the good news there is that they have a pretty good pipeline with Cook County Land Bank. Cook County Land Bank is overwhelmed. They've got way too many properties to deal with, and basically they are intent on offloading a lot of properties to the South Suburban Land Bank in communities that they have members. And it's going to be a good pipeline. It's going to improve the financial status of the South Suburban Land Bank, and also do a lot of good work as far as rehabilitation for residential and commercial properties. They are going to hire an operations manager. They are training right now a building inspector who will, instead of having the town do the building inspection, they will send out their own building inspector to look and see about the properties before and during when they buy it. So that person is actually a person that company's actually employed by the land bank right now. Cat's Properties, who does the maintenance and the securing of the properties right now. They've been a contractor for the land bank ever since its inception, and they do great work. So the Richard Katz, the owner, is going to be the building inspector, so that's a good thing. They also have a property manager, and also that person is in charge of getting grants. They did put out an RFQ for real estate agents. They feel that it's better if they have local real estate agents in each town rather than what they had before, who was a very competent real estate person, but he has an office downtown. And so they got 29 responses. So what they're going to do is they're going to give the real estate professionals a couple properties to work with, see what they do, and then based on their results there, they'll either keep the 29 or whittle it down a little bit. But they want local real estate agents because they feel they know the market better. The only thing that they're challenged with right now is that they are behind in their audits, mainly because they don't have anybody around from the years that are being audited. So they're working hard to get that up to speed. And they will, by the end of this year, they'll be pretty close to being up to snuff as far as being current on their audits. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to comment the garden walk. Great job by all. I had high ambitions that day to get to as many houses as possible. Unfortunately, I was out for 3 hours and only made it to a few houses. So,
Okay. Where'd you stop? No,
Yeah.
never mind.
my goal was to start on the west side and make my way east. I didn't get past Cicero, so,
Yeah,
but good time. Thank you. And
Yeah, beautification committee did a great job. A lot of work goes into that lot, and they just did a terrific job with it. That's why it turns out so good.
and the birdhouses.
Oh, the birdhouses, yeah.
Can you mention the gentleman's name, or is that
Bill McIntyre. Bill McIntyre.
unbelievable?
He makes them himself, and
And he told me that mostly repurposed and
Yes.
recycled type material. It was,
Yes.
pretty
yes,
cool.
yes.
Unfortunately, I have 12 birdhouses hanging in my backyard, so I didn't have room for more, but,
So I can say you're for the birds. Never mind. Never mind.
but great job. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor. May I interject one more thing to my business?
Sure.
I forgot to mention. Okay. Last week, Trustee Crowley and I met with Jeff Allen and Nick Geifer from the Southland Development Authority. Southland Development Authority is a nonprofit entity that was started with seed money from Cook County and a few other organizations, and their specific goal and purpose is to help communities in the Southland with their economic development, help them get vacant properties, dilapidated properties back up on the tax rolls, but also their other mission is also to work with existing businesses in all of the Southland communities. They were going to, in follow-up to our meeting last week, they are going to provide us with some documentation that we can share with our business community here in Midlothian. And they have kind of a plan in place where they can meet with businesses and help them for free, help them try to boost their business any way they can. If it's, helping them develop a website, if they prefer not to have a website, if they want to get into other social media platforms, they can help them with social media. They can help them with advertising. They can, if they're struggling for whatever reason, they can help them redevelop their business plan. So they've got qualified staff on hand to help the businesses do that. So, and then also, the Southland Development Authority is also working as economic development arm for some other communities. I believe it was Hazelcrest, or it's Hazelcrest. The village of Hazelcrest actually hired them to be their economic development team. So we've already hired somebody to help us at this point. We're still in that process of working on that plan, but, down the road, if we do have specific property here in town or a specific project, if we would like to engage services from the Southland Development Authority to help with that, they do offer that service as well. So,
Great.
yeah, it was nice to finally meet somebody from the Southland Development Authority and find out actually what they're doing for everybody out here, so.
And the vacant property list?
And we are gonna put together, our vacant property list to provide to them.
So they'll
So-
have, and they hear of developers, they can.
Right, exactly. We're gonna
provide them with
share,
information.
our list of properties that are available for sale, vacant, whether they're vacant or occupied. Any of our commercial buildings that are up for sale right now, we'll try and get them, we're gonna get them that list, and they'll share it with their developers and their real estate folks, and we'll see what happens. And I'm sorry, that's all, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Crowley?
Thank you, sir. First, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the de-escalation equipment I spoke about last week at last week's meeting. This will be paid out of seized funds, and the amount is not to exceed $28,700.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Mosco.
Trustee Crawley.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Burbette.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Last night at the Finance Committee, Chief Hotwagner had submitted a list of adjustments to our ambulance fees. Sorry. I told you.
Mitigation.
Yeah, mitigation and ambulance fees. This is a recommendation from the fire department based on common practice with other municipalities and keeping our fees in line. He asked that we bring this up this evening and have everyone take a look at it. And if nobody has any problems with it, if we can put it on the consent agenda for next week. Anybody have any concerns?
Is this a change to ordinance or fee schedule?
There's
Uh,
an ordinance attached.
Ordinance.
Well, we'd like to see if it's possible to do it by resolution. Because it will be changed,
Every time we change it.
yeah,
we're
every
making
change,
an
it
ordinance.
changes at least every 5 years, if not sooner.
Attorney, what's your
If,
recommendation?
if the ordinance has provisions in it for the board to take action from time to time, then we can do it by resolution.
How about I just forward you this?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what we got.
Right.
It's an ordinance.
Yeah, I just saw it this afternoon, this evening, so I don't.
The other note should be the mitigation, the other attachment should be the list of,
Yeah, one was the mitigation fees and one was the
yeah.
ordinance. What's your name?
There's two ordinances here.
Oh,
Right, one is ambulance and one is mitigation.
Right.
I said,
Okay. Attorney, will you look at that too?
I will do so.
Please.
get back to us before Monday at 5. You can.
Okay.
Also on my agenda, just a couple things, updates. Everyone remember August 1st is our National Night Out. We're looking forward to that. And August 19th is our fundraiser for the Community Policing and Safety Committee at the Thunderbolts game. It's on Facebook, it's on the village website. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to contact me. And that's all I have this evening, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Valdez?
Yes, I was contacted by the building department in reference to our current ordinance regarding green space for residential lots. It is the position of the building department that our current ordinance only provides for building space to count as an offset of the required green space on a particular residential lot and not driveway or patio space. So I will be working with the building department to come up with a ordinance for your approval or input that will include non-porous surfaces to ensure that someone who has the building, met the building requirement for green space on a particular residential lot is not free to pave over the rest of the lot. Obviously, given the flood situation in Midlothian, I think our ordinance needs to be more reflective of other municipalities, which include non-porous surfaces when calculating how much you can cover your lot with buildings and concrete. Obviously, this will also have a more significant effect on some of the older lots in the village where older subdivisions had smaller lots. Clearly, there'll be some parts of the village which has those very long, deep lots, which it really won't affect anything much at all. In addition to that, I will happy to report to the board that as of today, and I'm not going to presume anything, the firefighters have not appealed a decision of the administrative law judge, and so I believe that that decision may be final now. Again, it's something that has gone on for 2.5 years that has cost the village tens of thousands of dollars to defend, and it appears that the time period to appeal that decision has passed, and we may have had the last of that issue in our favor. So that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. I don't really have anything on my business, although I did want to encourage everyone to come join us this weekend, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday at the St. Augustine Fiesta. Please support the parish and the community. Many of us will be out there working hard for you. We're going to take a poll on how many shirts Alan will go through in a day. But it's supposed to be nice weather, hot weather, so come join us. We'd love to see you. Great music. Be a good time. So that's all I have. Clerk Moss.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir. And I was asked right before the meeting if we could go to closed session. So at this time, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee of the public body.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are in closed session. There will be no further business following closed session.